So you want to build a website? Or maybe you want to earn some moolahs, but don't know where to begin? Well, today I will show you how to make an amazing website without any prior coding knowledge. We all know websites. We use them every day. You're literally watching this on a website. So what is a website and how does it work? There's a computer somewhere around the world that's storing a whole bunch of files. Whenever you go to google.com, your computer will connect to one of their computers, which has a whole bunch of files on it. The computer will then send you that file, and your web browser like Chrome, Safari, or Firefox will just download that and display it straight to you. It's kind of like a Word document. You make it, then you send it to your teacher. They get it, open it, bam, they see everything that you've put on there. There's two parts of the website, the front end and the back end. Whatever you see inside your web browser when you go to a website is the front end. But the front end isn't very functional. With few exceptions, the front end can't do much without a back end. The back end is where information is stored and can be processed. This is John. He has made a YouTube video and wants to upload it, so he drags it into his browser window, aka the front end. But he wants to be able to shut down his computer later, so it can't be stored on his computer. So the front end messages the back end and says, hey, John's uploading a video. And then it sends the back end the video. The back end then puts it to a link and allows other people's front ends to be able to access it and download it whenever they want to watch it. What I will show you today is how you can make front end. It's kind of the easiest to start off with, and without it, people can't actually view any of your web. If you want to build a front end web page, kind of like Word or Pages, it's extremely helpful to have a code editor. I'm using VS Code, which helps you write all the code you need faster. Once I've got it open, the front end is composed of 3 main languages. Although there are other methods beyond the scope of this video. The main ones are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. To put information on your website, you use HTML. Instead of having beautiful buttons to select your headings, you have to use text. It seems bad, but as you get better, it becomes easier and lets you do even more. Many of the tags in HTML you probably won't end up using, but the main ones, the headers, and all of your smaller subheadings, the paragraph element for putting the main content in, images for adding images, video for adding videos, and divs for blocking out sections of content. This doesn't seem very useful at the moment, but wait till we begin styling our website to look good. I have this Word document and I want to make it into a website. So how would I do it? Let's start with the title. I'll put a header 1 for the main heading and put our main body text inside a paragraph tag. But now I have an image in the Word document, so how would we add that? Remember when I told you about how websites were basically just files being sent across to you? Well, if we grab the image file and put it in the same folder as the HTML file, we can reference it in our code. So we start by adding an image element, but it seems to do nothing. So we have to give the image element an attribute, which is basically extra information that you could give to an element. So we'll give this image a source attribute and point it to the cat.png file. Now, when your browser loads this, it will show up the image. That's a website, but it looks ugly. So how do we fix that? Well, your solution, CSS. It's a language that works with your HTML to customize what your elements look like. Do you want your text bold? Done. Do you want it really big? Done. Do you want to change the color? Done. You can even add animations to your text and images. More on that later. So how do you write it? Well, in our HTML file, we can add a style element. This allows us to write CSS code in the same file. Say we want our title text to be underlined. Inside the style tags, we can put .main heading with curly brackets after it. This will create a class, which allows you to reference the CSS code inside HTML. Inside the curly brackets, we can put the actual style. We will use this line of code to tell it to become underlined. Now we can go to the header 1 element and add an attribute called class. If we add the main heading class inside there, you'll notice the text is now underlined. We could also change the text color. If we go back to the CSS and add color colon gray, Well done, that's how simple making websites can be. Next episode, we can get started and make our own personal portfolio website that looks amazing. We'll also talk about JavaScript and how you can make web pages that are functional.